my time left here was limited about a month ago. I had just gotten home from a long night out, and when I walked into my kitchen, I saw my mom in tears. In an attempt to lighten the mood, I asked, "You good?" She leaned back in her chair, let out a dramatic sigh, and said, "I just bought your plane ticket to San Diego." I laughed as I asked her, "So what?" She took a while to respond, but eventually she told me it was a one-way ticket. After hearing her say that, a certain scene entered my mind, and it has been a mental plague ever since. It's from a movie that made me cry, and surely has made everyone here cry too. At the end of Toy Story 3, and preparing to leave for college, he packed up all of his toys and other personal belongings, leaving his room disturbingly empty. His mother, noticing this, pauses and has a very emotional hug with her son. The reason I thought of this scene is because it is a moment I dread. It is a moment that most of us seniors will have in only a few months. But we don't have to talk about that right now. What we can talk about is what lies beyond that oh so painful moment. We can talk about how in less than 5 days, every student in this auditorium gets just a little bit older. Specifically in our case, seniors become college freshmen. We can talk about our futures, where we are studying, what we want to do after our next graduation. Seniors, I don't know about you, but my mind has been racing. For this entire year, our main focus was our future. We talked about it, we wrote about it, we stayed up late for it, we studied hard for it, and now, here we are, sitting in the same seats we first sat in 4 years ago. We are no longer young, sweaty-palmed, terrified incoming freshmen. Rather, we are experienced, confident, excited seniors ready for our next challenge. However, before we continue discussing our futures, we must think about our past. Specifically, the origin of this readiness we possess. That origin lies right here, inside the halls of Fenwick High School. It lies in Mr. Mullen's encouraging and intimidating speech for incoming freshmen. It lies in 900 students whose hands gesture towards the Lawless Students balcony while they aggressively shout 4 more years. It lies in Mr. Arlano's intense finger snapping and his emphasis on making sure you write that down. It lies in the pressure the ACT and the SAT test crush us with. It lies in Mr. Borsch and Mrs. Doherty's college lectures in our English classes, which feel as if life is moving too fast. It lies in the bittersweetness that seniors feel on a daily basis. These are all experiences we seniors have had. These are the reasons why we sit in these cushioned seats, our former uniform attire covered by graduation gowns. Through every good grade we've received, and stressful late night we've had, and close friendship we've made, and awkward, cringy moment we've experienced, we have been delicately carved and molded into a Fenwick friar. For the non-seniors listening, the ones who are lucky enough to have another year here, I ask of you one thing. Consider the role Fenwick has played in making you who you are today. To be honest, I didn't do so until I began writing the speech, so in an attempt to ensure you don't make the same mistake I did, I'll help you all out. Beginning with the freshmen, congrats. You no longer have to stand and smile awkwardly in the balcony during pep rallies like your family singing happy birthday to you. I'm sure for many of you this year was rough. You graduated from grade school and came to the big leagues, where classes were harder, where there were more people you didn't know than people you did, and where you learned that it isn't always easy to efficiently manage your time. But you're just getting started. The fact that you don't understand every reference I make to my time at Fenwick should excite you. The experience of being a friar gets better as time goes on, and now that you've adjusted to your new environment, things will be a lot smoother. What you first thought was overwhelming, difficult, or weird probably feels normal now. That's a sign of your intellectual and emotional growth, and you will continue to grow over these next 3 years. This year, you sophomores have established yourselves as veteran high school students. You survive daddy's speech class, and in a few days, you will face new pressure. It's going to feel like an unknown authority is watching your every move. How your GPA changes, how you score on the ACT or the SAT, APs, clubs, activities, sports, more numbers, more numbers. But the good that emerges from all of this pressure is how prepared you actually are. Sophomore and freshman year were difficult for a reason. They taught you how to focus on academics, athletics, and relationships all at once. Personally, junior year was one of the best. The first memories that come to mind have nothing to do with ACT tutoring or worrying about my GPA. I remember the new friendships I made that year and the older ones that I solidified. Some of my closest friendships now were made in the midst of all of that pressure. The idea here is that Fenwick has taught you how to work hard and constantly strive to better yourself, all while enjoying the best parts of high school. To the new leaders of the school, I'm going to tell you how it is. For the first few months, the only thing you'll be thinking and talking about is me, me, me. Along with all of your classes, the college process will likely be your main priority. And although you will only be thinking about you, remember that this will be your last year together. Based on personal experience, the difficulty of this year has prepared you for the next. So, make time for each other so that you can enjoy it. And as 24 of you already know, Kairos will help a lot. For my fellow one-way ticket holders, our existential crisis has now become our reality. In just 5 days, we will make the wonderful transition from hard-working Fenwick students to generous Fenwick alumni. During these last few days, let us recall our admirable freshman year homecoming pictures. Let us recall the stereotype our class received sophomore year for being unkind to each other. More importantly, let us recall how we debunked this label and went to Kairos and returned with a deep love for everyone we encountered. The administration gave us praise regarding this topic, and that we came together as a class like no other preceding us. They were right. It honestly felt like everybody became closer this year. I'm grateful that we all realized that this year was our last, and that there was no better way to spend it than with each other. In August, my flight to San Diego will not be round trip. I will no longer be able to attend Friday night football games, prepare for Monday morning prayer, or drive around at night with my friends. I'll say one last goodbye to Fenwick, the place that taught me how to write a thesis, why the Revolutionary War should actually be called War for Independence, and the actual reason why the mitochondria is the powerhouse in the cell. I'll say one last goodbye to the place that taught me what it means to be a part of a true community. But with the bitter, there always comes the sweet. When I walk back to my car in a graduation gown, high school diploma in hand, I'll still be a friar. When I'm 2,000 miles away, wearing an outfit that doesn't include a dress shirt, tie, or an ID, I'll still be a friar. Seniors, the best thing Fenwick taught us during these last 4 years is that we'll always be friars, no matter what. It's a title that we should be proud of, and a title that no other class of 2019 can say they have.